yeah, this is kind of like 19-1's sibling, if you will. 120 wall balls, 120 calorie row. The cool thing is I think a lot of you guys know what your capacity is for Karen, and 150 wall balls for time. That's a pretty like across the board test that all of us coaches use. And so hopefully you have a good idea of what your capacity for large sets of wall balls are. And even if you've done 19.1 in the past, like thinking back to how you approach that workout and pacing. Obviously this is a different format, right? We're going straight through 120 wall balls into 100 calorie row, or 120 cal row. So, you know, there are going to be some people that look at this and like, I dare to say, like, I don't think anybody does 120 wall balls unbroken to start this workout. I think that would be a huge mistake. But like you could do 2 large sets if you're a very strong rower. I would say if your capacity on the row is solid and you're confident that you can hold a competitive, like fast pace for 120 calories, 2 big sets on the wall balls could do. If you're a little bit, you know, if you're not as strong of a rower, I would consider breaking up the wall balls into like 3, maybe 4 sets, but keeping those transition times tight, those rest times tight. So not standing around staring at the ball on the floor for too long. Yeah, that's kind of my initial take on this one. I think finishing on the row like that will be pretty nasty too. At that point, you know, when you start to close in towards the end of 120 calories on the row, it'll kind of just be like a really big grind and push to the finish. So I think this is going to be a particularly nasty one too. But again, to me, it looks like a lot of fun. What do you guys think?
DC, what are your thoughts here?
Right, so you got the rowing, nice long strokes on the rower. If you're a taller person, I think you're rubbing your hands together with this one. Also, it's just like Michelle said, it's a very aerobic workout, and definitely it's necessary to break up the wall ball shots just to give your legs a little bit of a break and your arms, so that when you get on the row, you can hit the row with a good pace. I think strong rowers are going to pace the wall balls, and they're going to really attack that row. I don't think many people will try to do this unbroken. That would definitely be a mistake. But yeah, you just need to keep your rest periods really strategic and know your pace on the rower. I'm sure you guys have all done lots of rowing, so you know what you can hold for that kind of time frame. But yeah, it's a good one. He knows how to put them together, old Dave Castro. What do you reckon, Nick? Pretty aerobic, this one, huh?
Yeah, and I think it's a classic like Castro bait. I mean, 120 is less than 150, you know, and it's not a bait like, hey, you can go unbroken, because there are those like, oh, it's light, it's only so many reps. But, you know, folks are going to be, a lot of people are going to be tempted to do this in like a 70-50 style, right? Which is okay. But I think at the end of the day, you got to look at how you're built. And going back to a little bit of what Michelle said, where if you have a strong aerobic base and you're an aerobic athlete, meaning you can clear lactate and you can get out of that threshold nastiness in an aerobic effort, then push the wall balls, right? Because that's where you're going to make some money. And then get on the rower and then you just row. And if you're built like that, you're going to recover as you row. And that's something to remember, right? We want to take advantage of the rower and that aerobic effort afterwards, because it's going to help clear lactate. So if you're feeling like pretty crappy during the wall balls and you're going hard and there's lactate buildup and you know you're starting to like hit that threshold, I wouldn't be too concerned. I wouldn't redline, that's for sure. It's hard to do on wall balls, but I wouldn't redline. When you get on the rower, you're gonna clear some of that lactate. You might feel a little bit better. Yeah, the biggest maybe a little secret is with rowing for calories. Here's something to know, is that the stroke rate affects the accumulation of calories and the speed in which you accumulate them. A lot of people don't know this. So if you have a fast stroke rate, 35 strokes per minute, you're going to accumulate calories quicker than the person who has like 19 strokes per minute at the same pace. So the power output, the pace doesn't really matter. For some reason, rowers accumulate calories a little bit faster if there's a faster stroke rate. So if you're a big, powerful guy who likes to row at 20 strokes per minute, I would encourage you to lower your damper and increase your cycle rate. You're going to get through those calories quicker.